Well, hello there, everybody. It says that we are live. I get it. You got it. So we're in it. Welcome, everybody. It is a happy Monday, first day of the week, or it could be the last day of the week. Then again, what is a week? It's a made up construct that we use to measure our place in our reality. So, welcome. Favor be upon us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Be of service to others, and the cycle will come through that if you ever need that service, it's going to be there. Plant a seed, fulfill a need, you'll never have a need. Isn't that just the way? And I'm not insane. My mother actually did have me tested. Yeah, it was, I was actually what they would call in a child's hospital. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Loved it. But anyway, I digress. We're prospering, and thank you all for joining us. As I see, there's a full crowd in here. Lost in Space, Scotty Boy, S. Lee, Knowledge Seeker. Yeah, right there with you. Deborah, how you doing? And Bonnie, Go, and Gilbert, how are you, my friend? Miss you a lot. Odin, good to see you. Scotty Boy. Didn't fare as well. Sorry to hear that, brother. Joyce Marie, good to see you. John Price, what's up? How many of you remember the Budweiser commercials? You know, the chameleon, Frankie. Those were some clever commercials. Darcy, who was the account holder for the Bud Sports back in the day, very lucrative account, but I digress again. Mary Wins, how are you, my dear? Good to see you. Much love to you, darling. Jargo, what's up? Emperor Rex, good to see you. Thumbs up all the way. Love it. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up here. Feed the algorithm. That's what I say. Because they're feeding off of us. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. Trust you had a good Saturday and Sunday. Mine was, wow. Yeah, that's all I got to say. When you're doing what would be called physical labor, which is not bad. Hey, listen, people pay good money just to be able to do physical labor, right? And I get to do it for free, and it adds the equity. So there you go. But it has this great side effect. Even if you're hit like with negative vibes, you're out there working, and it's true. As a man thinketh, so is he or her, whatever it may be. And so it's a great mental time. It's a playground. The work's got to get done. So, no need to be bitching about that. But it's like, where's your head during this? Mine is out there, doing a play, constantly running back, forth scenarios. Yeah, it's a pleasant world. So what's up? Hey, Carol, good to see you. Bernadette, Jackie, good to see you as well. Manual labor. Yeah. It makes you think. I love the side effects. Muscle tone, the whole bit, it's good weight loss. But I'm going, all right, Steiger. You read a lot, you talk a lot on this mental thing. Well, how is that working out right now? And how the balance of nature is, my body responds, who the hell do you think's driving this bus, as the body continues to scrape and pull off old paint? So in essence, it does work. Far freaking out. That's all I got to say. Well, Joe Sapien, he writes, my imagination can be the death or life of me. Could be both. Technically, it is. No matter how you look at it, we are in a duality, a diapole. So if we're in a diapole, meaning if you have a monopole, then it means you only have one energy, positive or negative. So we have a dipole. So that means we have in this reality, no matter how we slice it and dice it, you're going to have the positive, you're going to have the negative. Yeah, ain't it grand? Hey, Red Honey, good to see you. I think I also saw Ballot Brand up there. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. 7P, what's up? Paradox fossils, a sense of accomplishment and exercise. Yeah, it really is. You know, I think about this wood that, I'm cleaning and getting ready to paint. As soon as it warms up again, it's really odd how quickly things can change. Lesson here, folks. All right. Going to be a test after. So it's butt ass cold here and going to get really cold. I mean, like 15, 20, 22 degrees below normal, particularly for this area. Now, if I was back in Denver, last year on September 8th, we had, I think, an all-time record low. It was 8 or 9 degrees, something like that. And of course, it froze everything. The leaves all turned brown and all fell down. So, and then it got really hot. So out there, you kind of expect it. But here you would think, well, here in the Midwest, that, yeah, it doesn't get this cold this quick, but it's going to get cold. So anyway, when it warms back up, I have the joy of creating. Painting is to me, it's good karma. It really is. There you go. Someone says I use both poles to electrify. Well, that's the only way you're going to get a charge. When you put the batteries in, one positive, opposite of one negative, and it makes everything go around. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So anyway, Isby, how you doing? What's up with the hand? I'm probably missing something here. I'm telling you, having Mary come on the property, Mary, you are really, truly a sensitive. It's fantastic to see it. That's all I got to say about that. Divine Empress, good to see you, Monkey Experiment. So prior to going into the dark, into the void, meaning no internet, very little cell phone, I was going to do a show with Ryder Lee over there, Raised by Giants. Hey, Ryder, much love to you, and saying shout out to Chris Matthews over there at Forbidden Knowledge News. We're going to get together. I think we're looking at November and looking forward to getting in touch with Jeffrey. So anyway, we did a show Saturday evening, and it's posted over there on his channel. Also, I think in Refkin, I think you can actually see, I think it's the premium content. I'm not sure. One of the two. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. Got into some serious, deep discussion. Love Ryder. Love where his head's at. That generation, if that could be replicated and then distributed out so that everybody could get a little piece of that energy, yeah, it'd be cool. Isby, what's up? I'm finding you're fighting brain cancer. What is that, brother? Wow. Well, we're just going to stop and send you some healing energy. Cancer. If there's ever a physical enemy that one could say is evil, then physical disease like cancer, cancer shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. It amazes me that we supposedly have all this enlightenment, all this knowledge, all this science, this technology, Yet we cannot find a cure for the common cold, much less cancer that ravishes. And I mean, it sucks. If there is truly the physical representation of an incubus or a succubus, it would be cancer, for it's both. Yeah, it sucks. And yet we know these fantastic freaking, it's more than a machine. I mean, I marvel at my body more and more because I see such wonder. The fact that this body operates on a level that doesn't require my consciousness. And if it does, it's a part of my consciousness that I'm not aware. And yet, we have something that can only be seen on a cellular level that attacks cells that go crazy. Cells aren't supposed to do that. Cells, I believe, and depending on your point of view, but there's plenty of evidence, both from an esoteric and from a philosophical and history. Those of our kind found cures. You can read it. I mean, and you know, it's interesting. I had some conversations this weekend that were great, but my point is healing. I believe that these bodies came equipped with the ability to heal themselves. And I do not believe that aging is a natural process. I think it's an imposed genetic modification to limit us for whatever freaking reason they want to limit us. They must be really afraid of us, deathly afraid of us, because they know that if we ever conquer this thing, this attack of our bodies, and truly get in unionship with our bodies, wow, a state of consciousness that has the ability not to be limited by time and understanding. Whoa. Isn't it written somewhere, if we don't confuse them, they're going to become like us? And anything that they agree upon, they will do? Might be a clue there, folks. Anything we agree upon, they'll do. So they raped our species. And that's what it is. When you come in and impose an alternate reality, an alternate timeline, and if you just go by the mythology of the story of the Tower of Babel, that's what took place. It interrupted our timeline. We were destined for something else. And who the hell do they think they are to come in and mess with us? Pisses me off, is what it does. It should piss you off too as well. Jerks. That's all I got to say. Bunch of jerks. What's up, red herring meeting? Excuse me. Woo, that went down the wrong pipe. Holy cow, Batman. Woo. Try little cloves and cinnamon going down the other direction. Man, that's a rush. But remember, iron sharpens iron. And there's another fact. Thank you for bringing that up, Red Herring Media. How could you have the Bronze Age before the Iron Age? I don't know. Bronze is more technologically advanced. But then so you go figure that one out. But back to that point, Ryder and we discussed, what is this? What is it that keeps us divided? Do you know that we have never been happy as one species made of many different races? What's wrong with us? We've never united. What's wrong with us? And no matter whatever your point of view or belief is as to why, there's a plethora of reasons as to why. Maybe they're all right, maybe they're all wrong. I'm not sure. But something is either controlling us or we're broken as a species. We can't unite. It's really odd, because the thing that what we seem to unite around is that which divides us. War. What's it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, children. But anyway, war. And then we suffer the aftermath. And we do that over and over and over again. To ad nauseum. Excuse me. Still, hey there, Ryder, I see that you're in. Excuse me. What's with drinking and talking at the same time? I mean, what's wrong with that, right? So, Ryder, it was a great show. Check out what we were saying, because these are the questions that we should be asking ourselves. Why? Maybe remember the scene in the second Matrix where Neo meets the architect, and the architect, Neo's bitching, why the hell do you think you got the right coming in and messing with us? And, why'd you create this type of reality, yada, yada. And the architect said, listen, Jack, my vernacular, here's the deal, Lucille. We did. We made it perfect for you in every way possible. But you humans, you screw it up every time. Now, if that construct exists, or even a small portion of it exists, if we think it, therefore it is, So is humanity incapable of unifying? Is humanity incapable of being able to exist in peace? Something's messed up. I mean, it's really messed up. Ryder and I had a different point of view, and he had his point of view, which that's where we learn. We take and we gather. But my contention is this. Let's talk geopolitics. Well, what the hell does that have to do with it? It has everything to do with what we're talking about. Geopolitics. Politics. So we're in a situation in the world right now that the diplomats, I don't know if the diplomats have just abandoned, or if there's serious working in the background. But what we do know is this, is that if NATO grants Ukraine membership, ladies and gentlemen, please look at your cards, and you will see that that leads us, what the freak is that? The last act. That changes everything. And then it's my contention that that sets off a series of events. Now, if the looking glass exists, Project Aquarius, who the hell saw this future and said, oh, that's a good thing? That's the one that we want. That one right there. What? What human would do that? Someone wrote me that, well, this is all fulfillment of prophecy and thus validates the whole belief system, yada, yada, yada. Thank you, Seinfeld. But, that's fine. If that's your point of view, go with it. Run with it. Have fun with it. I refuse to believe that we only have one option. I do. We have to have a different option. Man, that cinnamon cloves get down in you. It's like, woo. And I don't like a scenario where there's only one path. I mean, that defies the reality of this realm. If we live in a duality, there has to be option B. Has to be. Because the people that I talk to, and I talked to a number of them this weekend, they're really their whole thing is they just want peace. Really. And I thought to myself, all we are aiming is give peace a chance. And we need to start thinking that, resurrect that song, bring it out. And because people are afraid, a lot of that. And they're looking for that answer. Where is the peace? So, Ryder, great show, brother. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Hey, Rob Sullivan, how are you doing in the Zulu 69? What's up, Bonnie? Good to see you. But to say that this is all heading to a nuclear exchange, I don't dig that reality at all. God, we had to bring peace back, folks. Whew. Because here's the deal. And I guess it's true no matter what. Unless we can get there and reverse what these so-called advanced geneticists did to us. And it's interesting. It's actually, once again, you can look into these writings, and it says the length in the days of man shall be no more than 120. We've all read the stories, apparently, of a different Earth where people live to be nearly 1,000 years old. And that really pisses me off to think that, wait a minute, that ain't right. Someone before me got to live 700, 800 years, some 900. If you're around here for about 900 years, I'll guarantee your ass is going to be far more wiser than any wise ass that's 70 years old here. You're just a pup, What do you mean you're 90 years old? Well, when you grow up a little bit, come and talk to me then. Yeah. That would be something. Hey, Gina Rose, good to see you. Yeah, I don't know how to actually to do that. I've seen the work. Interesting. That's a lot of shoes. uh, so true. Hey, Elderberry, what's up? But, and everybody has its different points of view. People have certain insights. I don't know if I believe any of them. Maybe they're all of them right. Because I don't know. What I do know is that we're all dead. In this realm, we are the talking dead. If the future is the future, and we've all lived it, then the future says that all of us are, hey, Lauren, good to see you, are dead. So if that's true, then we're all ghosts. I mean, think about this. To the future, we're the past. We're the specters. Because to them, our time passed and went. We're basically kind of irrelevant. Well, that isn't a very pleasant thought, is it? But in essence, it actually really is. So then that means technically we're all ghosts. Weird, isn't it? Isby says we should start as the group start saying, I am grateful there is peace and prosperity all over the world. It would at least begin to send that out. Robert V., good to see you, my friend. He cites, will our keepers let us destroy ourselves? Isn't that a good question? One I've asked myself repeatedly. So, but then if we define that, then to say that we have keepers, watchers, that still is an inference that we don't know what the hell we're doing. We can't be trusted. Almost as if we're children, because children don't know what they don't know. And then what does that say? I had a conversation yesterday evening with dinner, very pleasant individual, and I was explaining to him the implications of the Sumerian culture. And it's amazing how we love living an illusion, a lie. Humans love illusions. And a lie, what is a lie? Well, you could say, well, it's opposite of the truth. But what is truth? I digress on that. But so as we were talking, and he wasn't too familiar with the Sumerian culture. And so I just, brought into the conversation that the problem with the Sumerian culture, it puts all the modern day belief systems on notice that it ain't true. Well, you can't have that because we have to have our belief systems, get it, understand it. But the Sumerians did live. We can still see their architect. They gave us the will. They gave us the sail. They taught us how to irrigate agriculturally. Their laws and customs are basically our laws and customs, same, similar type of system. So if I was going to believe anyone in the narrative, it would probably be a Sumerian. I get that there were others, in the Indus Valley and et cetera. You can go further east, probably go further backwards, but, we don't have as extensive written record as we do with the Sumerians. I mean, those people were just, they were litigious. I mean, they wrote down everything. I guess we do too, don't we? But there was no Elohim, was no Jehovah, didn't exist. We know in their folklore there was Enki and Enlil and etc. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, so what's wrong with us? Why is it we can't get our shit together? Why is it that we always want to inject pain, division, hurt, deceive? Questions we've no doubt have been around for a very long time, but apparently we don't have the answers to even those questions. So again, are we just a genetic experiment? I mean, if these beings have the ability to change the length of our living capacity, to reduce and inhibit our intellectual growth, and if they can do that, doesn't that imply that they would do the same thing to us spiritually? I don't know. Are we so advanced that we think spiritually we've got this figured out? I mean, because that's the backup plan. Well, we may not know this physical reality too well. We don't understand it, but hey, we got this spiritual thing down, baby. Okay. Interesting, Gogo. I'll address that. It's interesting. But again, because we got in this conversation last night at dinner on darkness. I mean, what is darkness? And I brought it out in the conversation. I said, isn't it interesting that where we're taught to fear darkness, this is Halloween time, the spooks are out. You know, don't go out the door, don't go down in the basement. That's spooky stuff. Sure it is. But when we sleep, we have to have darkness. There has to be that natural circadian rhythm that allows us, you know, the sleep time. Bright lights make it very difficult to sleep. Our eyelids are very thin veils, but it has to be dark. I don't know. Is consciousness light? That's one. Genetically modified, how are you doing, dear? It's a good question to ask. She says sleepy equals dream time and more work. My wife, she's been a nurse for so long that she actually has dreams, and even her body is living it out where she's in ER, you know, ICU, NICU, dealing with, you know, life and death situations. And she'll wake up more tired than she went to bed. And it's true. So we need darkness to sleep. That allows us to go into consciousness. Is consciousness light? Well, you know, it says we all have auras, so something's generating that, right? Which means, okay, that's fine. So when we sleep, when we dream, when we can actually measure what the brain is doing, isn't the brain encapsulated in darkness too? Just asking. I don't know. Some people have a fascination with, I don't even know what, you know, that's when you drop in on a conversation going, don't have a clue. Scotty Boy says we all work in the sleep time. Sleep time is for the body. The soul does not sleep. Planet X Hunter, thank you. But Scotty Boy, isn't it odd though that when they bury someone, may God rest his soul, may he find peace, may his sleep be uninterrupted? Because that's how the Hebrew people actually believed. They didn't believe so much in an afterlife. They believed that you basically went to sleep. So what's a sleep? Trina, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, sent me a link on a video titled The Last Conversation You Had with Yourself. Now, that implies that we all know we're here. What I mean by that is that we apparently had, I don't know, some input. I mean, think about this, and it's a great question to ask yourself. What would have been your last conversation to yourself before they put you here? Imagine it. Put your imagination to work. What would you tell yourself? Realizing that you're going to be wiped. You come in here, and I don't believe it's permanent. I think it's just, it's temporary. And I believe that it can be pierced, but for the most, you're wiped. So what are you going to tell yourself? Someone says, Brandon says, enjoy the ride. DC Jill, how you doing? Pearl Jones, how you doing, my love? Good to see you. I mean, it's a question to ask. I thought about this as I'm scraping, right? Okay. What would you have told? What would I have said to myself? I'm about to go into a sleep. Some have equated that our existence here, yeah, we're in a physical matrix, but we're all asleep. But what would I have said to myself? Sucks to be you. I mean, I'm pretty sure I must have told myself, listen, dude, you're going to be all right. Going to be a hell of a ride. You don't know what these maniacs are going to do to us when we get into their reality. But just know this, death is not eternal. It's not the end. No matter what they say, no matter what they try to make you believe, you and I, we are here from the beginning, and we have no ending. We have no beginning. And that's what I'm trying to think to myself. That's probably what I would tell myself, because I know I'm about to go into something that no matter how much I pre-planned, no matter how much I anticipated, these sons of bitches are going to throw me a curveball. And you look at your life, how many curveballs have been thrown at you? We all have. And then we get into the crazy thing that, we have our petty differences and, oh, that's my right. No, that, and it's like, holy crap. We say, give me my space, my space. And I'm going, well, how do we even know that we're in space? How does thought, how does consciousness have space? I don't know. Bernadette says we must go to the dark. 12-hour days, 12-hour nights. That's how it was that. Grace says, I told myself more than one lifetime that it may be a bumpy ride, but you're going to get through it. Yeah, and I'm right there with you, Grace, on that, because it's but then it steps me back going, Okay. All right. All right. So I have two choices in this thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe I have none at all. Maybe I have more than I can imagine. But all right, I've got to go through it. Now, the question is it really this negative thing? Or am I on a path of graduation? I mean, this is deeper than even ascension. Because if I'm ascended, if the future exists, then it means at some point in that future I've ascended, right? Now, if I can grasp that reality and pull it back to this one, then it would define my existence here much more meaningful. I mean, I look through the stuff that I've endured, things that I've brought to pass, the things, etc. And I have to pat myself in the back. Yet I have this other side that wants to attack, why you messed up on this, you're not worthy of that. And I've learned to say, fuck you on that one. I don't have to listen to your shit. Just shut up. Yeah, using the real profanity, right? Hey, Gary, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. But if the future is the future, then I guess I have two options on that one. Either I have made it and I have graduated for the purpose and reason for me being here, or I failed. Not really sure what the, consequences are for failing. Not even sure I could define what the consequences is for achieving. I'm limited within this construct. But if the future is the future, which I know it is, I've lived it. I've lived the past, I'm the present, and I have been the future. So I choose that, yeah, I went through all the requirements and I made it. Now, it's not to say that I won't have other experiences in that, but I don't know, maybe just me. Lawson says maybe our music is keeping us at a certain tonage, not letting us advance mind-wise. Well, those earworms can get deep. That's a fact. Bonnie says maybe we don't really want to know the end because it's like knowing the end of the movie kind of ruins it. So true on that one, Bonnie. They say that the one day you don't want to know is the day that it's over, at least for you on this time. I mean, if a person truly got gifted, and I've read of some that did, that they couldn't do it with everybody, but there were certain people that they knew the time that they were going to transcend. But anyway, getting back to the point that means then how many of us are basically reliving this because we cherish that memory, that essence, that energy that we're into right now, where we're making the discoveries, new thoughts, new paradigms. They come into our mind. Sometimes we call them downloads, but they come so quick, so fast, so often. And it seems like the more that we acquire, the less that we have the time to really push even further. But we're looking at ourselves from the future, grinning ear to ear, saying, yeah, this was this was such a great time. And we love coming back and seeing it. The challenges that we've met and overcame. I mean, that has to be sweet. I mean, that has to be of an essence that would be timeless. That part of developing of each of us where we achieve, we graduated. And now we're already in the future. We're all there. We come together here because although we are not limited by time, nor by what we would call, four-dimensional space, we love coming back to this time. I don't know, just a thought. Just throwing it out there. I mean, because there has to be something better than war, death, lack, poverty, sickness, disease, which is divided peace, and even death itself. The fact that we have this construct where death is ever present, that's a whacked out. We were having this conversation at dinner. Y'all should have been there. It was a great dinner. I'll just say it. So those of you who don't like, profanity, close your ears. But that's fucked up. I just got to tell you, that is psychotic fucked up. I mean, people will say, well, how can you say such a thing when you don't have the mind of God? Well, I've read his book. And it's messed up, man. It's messed up from the very beginning. And the fact that we have this thing called death, it sucks. What? It's supposed to teach us what? I mean, all right, if you transcend from one reality to the other, can't we do that just as quickly in a dream? Why the whole idea of death? That just validates my theorem that this is the death realm. And then we can go back to the conversation we'll have tomorrow, that last conversation. Is it something that we have to experience? I mean, as a God, I guess you would have to have the empathy, right, of understanding the construct and the dichotomies of what is perceived to be life and then what is perceived to be this thing called death. But even Kali teaches us that, yeah, she may be the destroyer, but she's also the giver of life. And then you got the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. From death comes new life. I mean, I can go right through the whole thing. We all know it, right? Now you hear it in your head. But anyway, I mean, it's messed up. It's just a messed up construct. So what did we have? I mean, again, we're all looking at our, what classes are available, and we're comparing, what's required in order for us to graduate. And is this something that we all want to go ahead and do now? Or is this something where, we're nearing that time where we have to make that decision? You're going to have to take the course. I mean, is that it? Because I can't imagine myself telling myself, well, listen, I mean, in this realm, you're going to, they got this thing called pain. You got these things called emotions. I mean, they feel as real as, daggers. You're going to have your heart broken. You're going to be lied to. You're going to be deceived. Who signs up for that? I mean, all right, Lauren, would you actually stand up and say, yeah, I think I'd love a double portion of that stuff. Come on, just let me go. And I mean, really, is that what's really going on here? It's like, Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. So I'm going into this place where there's lack, there's poverty, there's sickness. Holy crap. And that's just not even that's the preamble. Hey, Susie Q, what's up, darling? Aphrodite Rose, good to see you, hon. Uh, I mean, seriously, someone said, well, that's what happens when you smash your finger. Yeah, it only hurt for a little bit. Because I'm still thinking about that question. What was that last conversation I had with? Am I speaking to myself as a condemned prisoner? Is that what it is? I mean, no, I can't accept that. That to me is part of this construct. No, I'm looking at this as like, well, it's required reading. War and Peace, Pride and Prejudice. I mean, Pride and Prejudice, I didn't find the book to be all that enthralling, but that's just me. But I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm talking to myself before I'm about to enter into this body, whatever time that is. I don't know. But I'm telling you, because I cannot have been created the moment I was physically born. I don't believe that. No. There was some sort of energy with my mother and my father that drew me in. Okay. So I guess, and Trina, we'll talk about this tomorrow, dear. So were we forced or did we come voluntarily? In fact, I don't like the word voluntarily because that's implying that if I don't volunteer, what's the next consequence? I don't see that one happening, but all right. So did I say and take the path of going, you know what? I love a challenge. I've done this before in other realms. And although those other realms tried to kick my ass, they didn't. So I came in here to where this is obviously collegiate level. I mean, this is not for newbies. I mean, if you chose to come into this time, basically being kind of what we would call a newbie, like this is your first realm, I could see you really getting your ass kicked big time. I mean, you would need a big brother or big sister that you could fall under the wings of and say, okay, yeah, I'm learning on this one. And it'll well equip you for the next realm. There's no doubt about it. I think I'll choose that. This seems, it just seems to be a better choice. I mean, Monty Hall had 3 different doors, right? Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. That's kind of cool. So what would be the third alternative? I've spent so much time building out the second alternative that I haven't given much thought to alternative door number 3. But anyway, Bernadette says you wanted a particular experience. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Just reading some of the comments. Something to think about as I'm looking. I had these other things out there, but I love the way that the discussion went. We're just going with the flow, as John Candy used to say. But it's still a fascinating aspect because this realm, I mean, is it even possible for in this realm for a spirit of unification, unity? Not some totalitarian bullshit, but I'm just talking, kind of the vibe of, the late 60s and 70s, peace, man. Got a joint? Yeah. People say, well, why do you have to get high? Well, that's because it's a natural thing in this realm. Humans love to anesthetize themselves. We've done it from the very beginning. Wine. There are plants in nature that will send you on a trip that you never had to leave the campfire. They're el natural. We know these things. And yeah, I don't care what anyone says. It helps you get you through the night, whatever gets you through the night, whatever that may be, and the dead, and in the daytime too. And Gary, you're absolutely right. Saturating yourself with oxygenation, that's definitely gives you a buzz, we all got that. I remember I used to run track and loved running. I found something about running really early in life, but once you break through the wall, and we all been there, the damn pain that hits you in the side, and everything is just like, telling you to stop, and you're going, no. And when you push through, I mean, yeah, it's intense, but I don't know about, the thing about running was that I always figured it's like this. If I could run faster than you, I'd have a chance. It's just coming out, you don't know. But anyway, loved it though. I really did. I didn't like football so much, pain. Running is life, Jackie, it's true. It is. I mean, Doug, you were a sprinter? Yeah. I could dig that. One of the things that I always found about, basketball, when they made you, run the grid. Johnny, yeah, that's absolutely right. It is. It's like, man, when hey, Mad Cow, what's up? Good to see you. Man, you break through that, and I mean, wow, it's far out. It's a spiritual experience. It really is. And yeah, gets back to the whole theme when we started this thing. There's no need for these bodies to break down. They're fabulous. And I know that they have the ability, or at one time did, to self-regenerate. Yeah. We got so much shit today attacking us. I mean, it's just, it's amazing any of us survive, right? Well, Steiger, technically none of us survive. Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, why can't I take my body with me? Isn't that going to be the mere physical image of myself? I mean, I still see myself back there, about 20 years old. I marvel at what I see myself in the mirror. I just go, this is fantastic. It is. It's a ride, that it's a transformation. It teaches me about my spirit. The soul, I'm not so sure about it. I'm not sure but my spirit being, I know for a fact, digs this. It allows a certain, in this momentum of energy, when we have the ability, the spatial sense of consciousness, where we can stand side by side multiple different realities. And I look into the mirror and I can see all of them. I can see over 24,000 of them every day. But anyway, I like that, Lauren. Ginger, you're absolutely right. We have the ability to perfect the soul if we want to. Maybe that is the task, is to perfect the soul. I mean, I believe our spirits are immune to imperfection. I think every one of our spirits are perfect. They're in perfect balance and perfect flow. The soul, yeah, I could see that like harnessing the wind. Yeah. Yeah. Or harnessing the atom. It's definitely like herding cats, no doubt about it. Okay. Well, this was fun. Make sure to check out Ryder's show that we did on Saturday over there. Check it out, folks. It was good. I mean, these are the type of questions that if we can get more and more people to start asking these questions, I think that may lead to one of those collective conscious breakthroughs, bam, baby, we got it figured out. Well, or we had it more figured out than what we had figured out before anyway. Okay. Woo. Genetically, it's Rockfin. Thank you. Is that right? Yeah. Rockfin. It was a lot. It was a fun time. I mean, that hour went by like that. In fact, I think we went well over that. Doug, you're welcome, my friend. So dig the rest of the day, folks. Keep warm if you're out here in the east, in the west, go out and put some sunscreen on. And now don't put the sunscreen on. Just go out and realize, be wise. Your body can use the vitamin C. Love the sun. It'll love you. And, get that glow. Musgrave, good to see you. In other words, you can do what you want in the organ energy. Yeah, I think you can. I really do. It's there for the taking. That's all. Grace, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Elvis is still in the building. Yeah, he's still writing songs. And, wouldn't that be something? Why wouldn't he continue to write songs? I don't know. It's like, would they stop over there? I don't think so. All right, folks, much love to you all. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for hitting the like button. And hey, like yourself, love yourself, and then we can just have ourselves a big old love fest. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, tomorrow with Miss Trina, I think we're going to get more into that. I'd like to see tomorrow, give me some really good stuff on what would be that conversation. I'd love to hear about it. Write it out. Tell me. I'd be curious to hear what you told yourself. If the Akashic record is accessible, that conversation should have a record about it. I guess the question would be also, how many times have we talked to ourselves about this? All right. Much love. Peace, everybody. See y'all.